Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm a few minutes early, so I just want to give you time to get on, and I'm going to attempt to share my screen while you guys are on. You know what? I had COVID, and COVID literally jacked up my brain. And then we had like 3 weeks off, 3 weeks off, I think, of doing this. And so honestly, you guys, I cannot remember because this is not something I do all the time. I'm just learning. I can't remember how to share my screen with you. So we are going to kind of wing it. So welcome to Power Hour. We've got 1 minute, so invite your friends and people to share with you. To join you. And I'm going to grab an oil because that's definitely what I need right now. Okay, so I grabbed Inner Harmony and White Angelica. Hi, Debbie. Hey, Anita. Hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so this is going to be a little different power hour than what we've done normally because we are starting a new year. Not to mention, you can't see the task. So I'm going to copy them and paste them into the chat so you guys can watch there. So for the first few minutes, we are going to grab an oil. We're going to get our mind in the right place. We're going to focus on good things, and we're going to get ready to dive in and work. Okay. Grab your oil. Let me know what oil you're smelling. Let me know where you're watching from. Okay. Good morning, Sherry from Mansfield. How are you, sweet friend? Okay. Alabama. Alabama's in the house. Hey, Alabama. Anita from Alabama. All right. Tell me what oil you're smelling. Oh my gosh, Missouri. We got people from all over. I'm in Texas. Looks like some rain is coming in. A good way for me to get focused on what's going on and to really release things that are around me and any negative energy is to focus on gratitude and something that you're grateful for. So if you guys want to jot down something you're grateful for, the oil that you're smelling, I would love to see that. I am super grateful to be well. I was sick for a little bit with COVID. That's a bad deal, I'll tell you that. When you inhale your oils deeply, it goes through your nose to the limbic system of your brain to through your olfactory system to the limbic system of your brain, and you actually can just feel the emotions start to release. You can feel the stress start to come off. And you know you're breathing deeply enough and exhaling long enough and deeply enough when you actually feel it, like in your gut. You feel your body start to change. So get some good breaths in. There we go. I'm going to wait a few more minutes to move on to our next part. There's that threshold when you're breathing in of where you think you can't get any more air into your lungs. But when you expand and take in air for that last second, that's when you really start to feel the impact of deep breathing, intentional breathing. And then you breathe it in and you just think you can't get any more, get it. And then you breathe it out that long until you think you cannot let any more air out of your lungs, and you go just a little bit further. That's when it really starts to work. And you start to feel those physiological changes, those emotional changes. I still don't see you guys what oils you're breathing in. I really want to know. So Inner Harmony comes in the Freedom Kit, and White Angelica is one of my favorites because it really does help block negative energy. Sacred Mountain Purification, both good choices. Negative energy, no place. No place in what we're about to do. No place. So put those oils on you. Okay, we are going to move on, my friends. We're, like I said earlier, we're going to do something a little bit different than what we normally do on these power hours, because I started these power hours last January. So we are coming on a full year of doing the power hours. We did them all through COVID. We did them through quarantine. And you know what? It's a new year. It's a fresh start. I feel like I just want to dust 2020 off and get going in just a really good, positive way. So some of what you're going to hear today, you've probably heard before, or you've done this process before, but we are going to really work on getting intentional in 2021 with what you want 2021 to be for you. Guys, this is not just going to happen by happenstance. 2021 is just not going to be a fantastic year for you and your Young Living business unless you are super intentional in your actions that you take. You come on to these power hours every single week, multiple times a week. We have other options for the times too. But this is how you are going to get to what you want, okay? Whether it's better relationships in the business or it's more income in the business or whatever it is. So today we are going to focus on what our why is for 2021. I would love to know what your why is, what you want 2021 to look like. Is it freedom? What does freedom mean to you? Freedom to live without financial strain or worry. Freedom to freely give when there is a need. That is a good feeling. To live without being a slave to a job or a time clock, having to check in somewhere. Maybe it's to truly just enjoy life without the stress of financial worries. It could be something totally unrelated to finances. But what is your why? Because we talk about that a lot. Because this kind of business, an MLM, a network marketing business, is not an easy business. And if anyone tells you it's easy to be successful in this business, they are not telling you the truth. It's very rewarding, and it is the best thing that we've ever done in our life, but it's not easy. It's fun. I love it. But there are times when it's really hard. And so if you don't have that driving why to get you through those hard times, you're not going to stay with it. And that's the secret we always say is like sticking with it. You've got to stick with it. So let's talk real quick about goals, okay? And it's a new year. People start creating goals. They, resolutions, we're going to go get them, but sometimes those things are just so lofty and so big and so grandiose and so unrealistic that within a few weeks you're like, I can't do that, and you get frustrated. It goes to the wayside before February even rolls around. So let's talk about what SMART goals are. Okay, so SMART goals are, first and foremost, they are specific. So specific. What do you want to accomplish? Who needs to be included to make it happen? When do you want to do this? And why is this even a goal? Why is it? So you're going to be very specific. Okay, so you're not going to say, I want to share with the world, I want to share with all my friends in the world Young Living. That's not specific. I want to share with 10 people this year in 2021 about Young Living. I want to get 10 people started. That's specific. Okay, so see the difference there? A lot of times we speak in big generalities and we need to be really specific. Okay, secondly, that's the S of SMART. Secondly, it's going to be measurable. Okay, again, if we speak in generalities, we can't measure it. So it has to be very specific. I am going to teach 12 Young Living classes this year, one a month. That is measurable. Okay, so how can you measure the progress and know if you're successfully meeting or have successfully met your goal? It has to be specific, or you can't measure it. Okay, so we're going to get specific. Then it has to be achievable. Okay, I'm going to put that over there for you in the notes. So it has to be achievable. I'll put too much in the notes. So you can't have a goal that is so unrealistic that you can't do it. So if you are a distributor or a star or a senior star and you're just getting started with Young Living, you not probably very realistic. Say in 2021, I'm going to be Royal Crown Diamond. I don't think there's anybody, maybe, I don't know of anybody who's done it that quickly. So it has to be reasonable and it has to be achievable. So we're going to make it specific, we're going to make it measurable, and we're going to make it achievable. Okay? Realistic. That's not an A. We got to spell the word SMART. And then next, it is relevant. Okay? So something relevant to you. Why am I setting this goal now in my life, in my stage of life? What is relevant to me? Is it aligned with my overall why? Is it aligned with my overall objectives in life? Sometimes life requires pivot, right? We have to pivot. And if 2020 taught us anything, it taught us to pivot, didn't it? It taught us to change course, create a different lifestyle, do different things and do things we've never done. So is what you want to do with your goals, with Young Living, relevant to where you are in life right now? Because my kids are all older. They're self-managed for the most part. They just like my credit card and my wallet, but other than that, they can take care of themselves. So I can set maybe a little different goal than a mom who has little bitty toddlers at home and she's busy with them all day long. It's not going to be relevant for her or smart for her to set a goal that she wants to teach 8 classes a week. That's not relevant. It's not achievable. Okay, so where are you in your stage of life? All right. And then finally, the T is time or time bound. Your goals, if you really want to get specific about them, they need to have a date on them. You can't just say, I want to become executive with Young Living without putting a date on it. Because when we put a date on it and then we continue to see that date and we continue to put our goals in front of us and see them, then it becomes so much more, not achievable, but it becomes so much more necessary and important, and it's higher on the priority list. Okay, so specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Think of that when you're setting your goals for 2021. Now, I want you to take for the next few minutes from 12:15 to 12:30. I want you to take some time, 15 minutes, to just begin writing down your goals. Now, that may be overwhelming for some of you. So what I would encourage you to do is think of them not in big picture, because sometimes we think about what does that end result look like instead of what is the very next step for me. If I want to start sharing with Young Living, what is my sharing and living with others? What is my very next step? Okay. So think of your goals as, I want you to write down things that are for this week, this month, in 6 months, 1 year, 2 to 5 years, and 5 to 10 years. Okay, so think of your goals short term and long term. Okay, so we're going to write down goals and write them however you want to. Okay, like this is not supposed to be pressure filled or whatever. You write them how you want. Okay, so 15 minutes till 12:30. I am going to mute myself because I'm going to work on it as well. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. You can do this. Okay, so I just caught myself. So Project Broadcast is a tool that I pay for, and I've paid for many months and not really used very well. And so just very sporadically. So one of my goals that I wrote down for 2021, and really in this first month, is before January is over. That's my specific time goal for it. But what I put down initially, and I caught myself, was set up Project Broadcast and use it efficiently. That is not specific, right? So then I got specific and said, use it for new members onboarding. So when I have a new member, I've got a campaign set up in Project Broadcast and set up one new campaign per month on product education. Maybe a little bit unachievable, but it gives me something to work towards. So that's how you get specific. Okay, would you guys be willing to post some of your goals in the comments or in the chat? I would love to see those. I think a lot of times people get really overwhelmed by the big picture, the way that they think it takes so long to reach their goals. But here's the thing, this is not a fast business. This is something that does take time. So the key is consistency and never stopping. The key is adjusting your course if you need to, because if you are continuing on doing something that's not working, then we pivot, that word again. But let's think of it this way. What if it takes you 5 to 7 years of consistent action to get the top of Young Living? Is that worth it? What if you only got halfway to Royal Crown Diamond in 5 to 7 years? The average Royal Crown Diamond makes over $100,000 a month. Half of that's not too shabby. A lot of people only make that in a whole year. So what if you only got halfway? What is that saying? Aim for the moon. Shoot, aim for the moon, land on the stars. I don't know. I mess those things up. But basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, aim high. And if you're taking consistent action to get to where you want to be, if you only get part way, you're better than where you are today. So don't let that big picture overwhelm you, okay? Just do what you need to do today, this week, this month, then do it again next month, and the next month, and the next month. And before you know it, the consistency is going to get you where you need to be. And you have to do things that are scary and out of your comfort zone. You sometimes you don't have to change who you are, but sometimes you have to take steps to do things that really are not super comfortable for you, like posting on social media or doing a live video on social media or opening up your box of products every month on social media so people can see what you're getting and what you're using, because they want to see what you're using, because that's what encourages them to try it. And so like doing a day in the life of and showing everything you use from Young Living in a day. Okay, but sometimes being live in front of people is not comfortable. So you can do it. Now, the next challenge, okay, we're a little bit early, so probably the next 5 minutes or so, I want you to write down, this is my personal challenge to you. So from say till 12:35, I want you to write down the number one thing that scares you the most about building a Young Living business. Okay? I want you to put it in the chat, if you will. The number one thing that scares you the most or holds you back the most when building a Young Living business. Okay? I love the conversation going on in the live chat. Thank you so much, Sherry and Debbie, for being vulnerable and opening up and asking those questions and making those comments. That really is helpful. It's helpful for me too. But you guys, you're not alone. Like, I've done this for so many years. I've reached the rank of diamond. I still have the fear of rejection. I still have the fear of what people are going to think about me because I'm posting too much or sharing too much or whatever. I still have the fear of lack of knowledge and not understanding everything and not being able to answer the questions. So those fears really a lot of times don't go away. But what I've learned to do is move forward in spite of the fear or alongside the fear. And that is what has helped me to be successful, because even though that fear is there, I'm still going to do it. And you know what? It actually gives you a little bit of energy and gives you a little bit of I don't know, that adrenaline that you get when there's a little fear. Sometimes it's really good. So Debbie says, Sherry said, I want to learn more about how Adam Green built his business just with Nick Charette, according to what I learned on another Power Hour. Adam Green has a fantastic book, and it's called 25 to Life. Fabulous book. My neighbors probably thought that I was having church in the backyard when I was reading it, because I was like, yes, Jesus. Yes, amen. Like, it is the best book. So definitely you want to get that book. But somebody just peeked in my window. But anyway, Debbie, just keep using it. Just keep using it. Okay, guys, you're awesome. All right, so now my personal challenge to you is to take something that scares you and do it this coming week. Like, actually do it. So Sherry says she struggles with starting a conversation about oils. You know what? I have found the easiest way to start a conversation about oils. I own the Woodlands Grove workspace, which is a workspace for women here, for entrepreneurial women. And I always have a diffuser going, or I always have oils on me. And every single person who walks in the door that's not familiar with oil says, what does that smell? And then it's just a natural segue into me talking about oils. So you can get the book 25 to Life on Amazon, or just Google it and it'll come up. But Adam Green, 25 to Life, it's a great book. But I always keep oils on me. I keep them going around me. And when I am in front of someone, or I'm at lunch with somebody, or I'm sitting at one of my kids' events, I pull an oil out and use it. When I just naturally use it the way that I would use it in front of everybody else, put it on my hair, smell it, put it on my head, rub it on my chest, my heart, whatever, people are going to ask questions, right? So we just want to go about our life the way we normally do it, but just be very intentional about using the oils in front of people. Don't make it so complicated. But anyway, I want you guys, personal challenge is to do something that scares you this week. Okay. All right. So now that you have your goals, you have some things written down that scare you, that might be holding you back. I would ask you to take the next 5 minutes. We'll just do this for 5 minutes. So we'll do it until about a little after 12:40-ish. So I want you to ask one or two people, 3 people even, private message them and say, will you be my accountability partner for 2021? Will you hold me accountable to some goals and some things that I want to accomplish? These people don't have to be in Young Living, and it may actually be a really good way for you to connect with someone and share Young Living with them in another way. It just has to be somebody that you trust, somebody that you are comfortable with, somebody that you respect, and somebody that you are going to listen to, that you know is going to hold you accountable, and that you're going to be open to hearing the hard things from them. So we all need accountability in our life. I will never, ever, ever reach any of my goals if other people don't know what my goals are too. So I have to share my goals with other people. So when you ask them if they'll be your accountability partner, and if they say yes, then you say, go, can I share a couple of immediate goals that I have that I need you to help hold me accountable to? And share, like, how many classes you want to teach this month, whatever it is that you have set up for this month, for the next couple of weeks in January. They hold you accountable to that. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, did you guys get your accountability partners, or did you at least message them? I messaged two girls. One is a Young Living Diamond, one is a Young Living Platinum. Neither one of them are on my team. They are cross-line from me. I know that they're of like mindset. They will hold me accountable. They really will help me and encourage me, and they will let me know if my goals are just crazy and they're not smart goals, like we talked about at the beginning of this hour. So, super important to have those kind of people in your life. Okay. All right. So, if you want to put who you asked, that's great. You can put it in the comments. If not, just give me a thumbs up that you got somebody. But we have just a couple more things to do, and then we are wrapping up our hour. So, from 12:45 to 12:50, it's a little more than 5 minutes. I want you to go warm up your feed on Facebook. So that means you go on Facebook and you like and comment on as many posts as you can in 5 minutes. And this boosts the algorithms of Facebook, because Facebook kind of goes dormant and goes to sleep on you if you're not using it a lot. And so then when you post something, it's not awake and people aren't going to see your post. That's just the most simple way I can explain it, that I understand it. And so go warm up your post, go warm up your feed, and then we're going to make a quick post on Facebook, and then we're going to be done. Okay. And I'm going to be working with you, so I'm going to mute myself. I'm not talking right now, Debbie. That's probably why you can't hear anything. I'm working with you. Okay, so now your Facebook feed should be nice and warm. It's all warmed up. You did some commenting, you did some loving, some liking, some whatever. So now it's ready for you to post. So I want you to be brave and courageous, and I want you to go post on Facebook about what we just did for the past hour and just say, hey, Facebook friends, I just spent an hour working on my goals for 2021. I have a short-term goal for January. Would you be willing to help me reach it? Okay, I'm going to share that so you can have some wording and just see what happens. Who knows? It may be one or two people who still need to become Young Living members and they say yes, they're going to help you. Or maybe it's somebody who's just willing to listen to you, especially you, Debbie, who's just learning, like just willing to listen to what you know about Ningxia Red. They might want to get started if they find out what you know about Ningxia Red. So yeah, that's our last task. Does anyone have any questions or anything before we sign off? And I will go, I'm going to go try to check your Facebook page and see if you actually did this last task. I am happy to help you guys reach your goals any way I can. So I will wait for a second and see if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry I didn't remember how to share my screen. I'll figure it out. I had to get that mind back in gear. You're so welcome, Sherry. Thanks for showing up consistently. You're going to get that mortgage paid for, my friend, with Young Living. I'm so excited. I can't wait till we celebrate that. Anybody else? Okay, so while you're doing that last task, I'm going to sign off. You guys, I'm here every Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. It's a little different most weeks than it was today, but I just wanted to get us in the mindset of setting some goals for the new year and really being intentional with what we want out of 2021. I was pretty intentional about what I wanted out of 2020. And, you know, the world kind of had different plans for me, all of us, right? So we're just going to learn to adjust as it comes. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being here. I would love for you to subscribe and like our channel, share it. Every video that's on our channel is for you to learn from, but also for you to use and share with other people and use as tools. So sometimes if you just don't know what to say to somebody or you don't know how to start the conversation, ask them if you can send them a video that you watched that made you think of them or that you really enjoyed, and send them a link to one of our videos. Anyway, if there's something you want to learn specifically, always let me know. I hope you guys have a great day, a great Wednesday, hump day, and I'm signing off. I'm Lori with From Our View.